Friends, hello, glad you were here. Let's talk about DWAC. It is the second day in the market, Tuesday, and we are getting close to this potential, what we think is going to happen here, merger with DWAC. And so far it looks like it's happening, but there is, I said this 2 weeks ago, I've been saying this every week, but I think it's kind of obvious, but the general media is doing everything they can to make this deal not happen. And of course, when I say this, people like immediately attack me and call me like all kinds of conspiracy theorists and all that, and I get it. But if you have money wrapped up in this and you're wanting this to work, whether or not you like Trump or don't like Trump or whatever, it's still quite obvious what's going on here. So let's break down the news, what's happening, break down the stock, and see what potentially could happen. And I think one thing that we're seeing right now is that this stock is very, very volatile right now, and which we knew that, but it is really showing its colors right now with how volatile it is, and potentially could be even more so after hopefully this merger happens. So friends, welcome. If you are new, hello. If you are back, let's dig into this again. Okay, so here we go. The stock, we'll start with that. The stock recovered today. So obviously the bomb hit. This thing fell almost to $30, but it recovered today. Big recovery. I mean, like huge recovery. You're talking about a almost $5 recovery here. So people made a big swing trade on this today alone. And I figured, I wasn't thinking this was going to go in the 20s, but I was like, it's possible it could touch 20s, but it didn't. It rebounded really good. So tomorrow being Wednesday, tomorrow is the day where I've been saying I'm really expecting maybe some volume to happen, but tomorrow could be a bloodbath in the market. We are expecting maybe potential bad news coming out of DC. So, and that's just the kind of thing we're going through right now. The housing market, inflation. I mean, there's no good news coming out right now to help the market, and this is what we expected here going in toward at the end of March and April. This is why all these economists have been saying, they expect pullback in the market, and we might be seeing that. There is crazy deals out there right now. I mean, there are legit companies, legit stocks out here right now that are killing it in quarterlies, killing it in cash on hand, low debt, no debt. And I mean, they're just sitting there waiting to be picked. And like SoFi, Fubo, Palantir. I mean, these stocks are crazy cheap right now. Even Nvidia. I mean, it's almost $1,000 stock, but if you look at compare what it should be, this time next year, I mean, it's pennies. So and even crypto is falling off the map here. It's taking a huge nosedive, but still a lot of deals in there because we know potentially with a bull market coming here towards the end of the year, even next year at the latest, these small cap stocks, even that are like $20, could have huge upside here. So digital world, get back on track here. Sorry, I can go off on a tangent, but here's probably more than likely what we're seeing here. So the stock plummeted yesterday due to Trump coming out and saying, hey, this whole New York court date situation, lack of funds, not paying, and Trump is asking people to donate to his campaign. Obviously, Biden has had massive amounts of money dumped in his campaign, and Trump is obviously the complete opposite. He is not getting support on really a lot of front here. So it is a situation right now. I remember he even having this conversation 3 months ago where I was like, there's just, when you try to look up even just a general article about bullet points, black and white, true social news, what's happening, it's so hard to find a article that's not like just completely like it sucks because you as an investor, you just want to know, like, okay, you're either betting for digital world or you're betting against it. I understand there's people putting puts, buys, what they're doing, whatever they want to with it. They're betting for it, betting against it. That's totally fine. That is what you are allowed to do. It's just like you're dealing with something right now that is so political still, even in this deal. the general media is not wanting to give any kind of positive news towards what could possibly be with this stock, and they're still not even talking about the merger Friday. Like, it's like when you finally read it in these articles, it's so buried in the article, it's like, what was that? So tomorrow, Wednesday, I expect to start to see some volume tick up this thing, and especially with such a rebound here. And I say this if, big if, no more bad news comes out. You're literally watching a fight in front of you. You are watching a fight in front of you, friends, where you have, a very unwanted stock company in person who is the head honcho of it, where the general media is doing everything they can to stop it. They don't want True Social to work, and that's just the reality of it. So if this thing gets approved Friday, if the votes come through and it happens, I would be shocked at this point. I would be absolutely shocked if this were to actually physically happen at this point. I'm hoping it does. I'm bullish that it does, because obviously I'm not letting it ride here. But so the next piece of the conversation here is, a lot of people ask me, when would I sell out? What should I do after the merger? So here's how I feel about this. Friday the merger happens and it's good news. Everyone's happy. Everyone's buying into digital world's True Social. Gonna be, there'll be more to know at that point. If this thing were to run up to some crazy number, I would probably sell out. If it even ran up to a 60, 70, I would probably sell out. 70, 80 definitely. But I would let the dust settle. I would let the dust settle at that point and kind of revamp where I'm at. And I'm willing to lose another 20, 30, 40%, because I'm just not going to be greedy here, because I think it's so volatile, the stock, and because we've seen such highs and such lows with it. And really what I'm looking at with this right now, I'm looking to have the merger, sell out, and then come back probably somewhere in June, July, where the stock, more than likely, people will forget about it, and who knows where the market's going to be at that time. No one knows what is going on with this market right now. I mean, it's like 30 days ago we were having all-time highs. We still are, pretty much. The Dow, the S&P, Nasdaq, they're still doing great, but it's so up in the air right now with what's going on. And now there's this whole talk of real estate is falling apart, and real estate is like a huge pillar in the market. So that is a big concern. So I just want to be honest with people. I don't want to sit here and say I'm just going to bag hold it, because I'm most likely not. I'm just not, because I know more than not, and we've seen this with so many things. We've seen this with the whole ape party that happened with AMC, GameStop. There's a lot of push, and then people, they lose interest, and you lose the crowd. And when you lose the crowd, you lose the money, you lose the volume, you lose the momentum. And I suspect that we will lose that in the summer, and people will be spending their money probably elsewhere. That's just vacation and stuff like that. So where I expect to really see bigger push in this stock, when this actually, if it is True Social going in towards the end of the year, September, October is where I'm really interested in jumping back in here, because November could be huge. Imagine owning a stock that is a company, obviously, that, and we're still not even talking about quarterlies, we're not talking about deals, we're not even talking about what the platform is and the logistics of people, even just the general investor knowing what it is. Imagine the hype train around owning a stock that the former president and potentially new president owns, and is like the spokesperson of. I mean, there's no other person that is going to promote it more than him alone. And Trump has said this, that he would use True Social as a government system to relay news. So I don't even know what that would mean, what that would even really look like. That's kind of a whole other thing there. So, his general idea is for Truth Social to, destroy CNN and even, push Fox News to the side and really have Truth Social as the main platform. Now, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I don't know. I'm not even there yet. The stock has not found my love for that situation yet. I'm strictly in here for plays that we're seeing unfold here. So friends, tomorrow's Wednesday. Tomorrow's where I'm kind of curious to see if we're going to get back in the 40s. If this thing does not hit 40s by Thursday, I am a little worried. I'm a little worried. And like I said, I'm expecting nothing but bad news up until Friday. Every article you read right now is nothing but just ripping Trump apart. They are just pushing this so heavy right now, this narrative, obviously, and trying to bury the news of what's going on here. And Trump really can't say much about Truth Social in a sense of like the stock market. I mean, there's just rules. You can't really do that. I mean, you can't tell somebody to go buy. We've seen Elon get in trouble many times for that with Dogecoin and Tesla. So, you just can't come out and tell people to buy your stock or say it's too cheap right now, or, it's going to be a $500 stock or something like that. He just can't do that. If he did, the stock would be jumping overnight. I'm going to start talking about some other stocks here too, things I'm wrapped up in. After we get this deal done here this week with Digital World here, we're going to start really seeing Rumble probably take off a little more. Rumble is doing very well, by the way. Like, Rumble is holding almost at $8 bid price, which is bananas considering what it was here just 30 days ago. And it has quarterlies next week, so we are expecting Rumble to we could finally see it hit a double digit here in this $10 mark. And if they hit these quarterlies, this could really shoot Rumble into a nice place. And the TikTok news has really gone quiet. I mean, it's a nightmare. I'm not even getting into it. That's a whole nother video. Friends, I wish you all the best of luck. Let me know what you think. I'm excited. This is going to be very volatile. I warn you. There's no guarantees that this is going to happen. We're hoping, fingers crossed, but everything is against this deal happening. Everything. So it is a risky situation. It is a risk. I warn you, if you don't want to bag hold, I would put a sell marker on your shares. I would just warn you, if you're not day trading, week trading, whatever, short trading this thing out, if you're just here holding it and hoping to sell out at a certain point, I would put a sell order on this thing. If it were to, you bought in at 25, you sell at 26, if it falls to that. So, because we saw today how fast this thing can drop, and if news were to drop that somehow the deal got pushed back, canceled, it would not be good. I will warn you that the stock will plummet. It will plummet, and we will, clean up the dust, clean up the mess, and see what happens from there. Friends, I will talk to you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.